I wanted to be extremely vulnerable on this channel, but my family and friends know about it, and there are some things I'd rather have them not know. But I'm probably the most physically and mentally exhausted I've been my entire life right now, so screw it, the mask is off. Despite my efforts to look okay or well off, my financial situation is deep in the trenches. I am experiencing actual poverty, and I went through the typical "Lord, why me?" phase before eventually asking myself, why is life so hard for poor people? Simple answer is, cause stuff costs money, no shit, Sherlock. But if you look deeper into it, you'd realize that society is built on systems intentionally meant to screw poor people over, especially here in Zim. Here are some examples from my own life. I don't have a car, and even if I did, I couldn't afford gas. So for the most part, I have to rely on public transport to get around. But Zimbabwe's public transport system is so unimaginably f***ed it deserves its own video, which it will get. My mom was describing a horrific accident she witnessed while driving the other day, which involved a combi. And I was so unfazed because I see this crap every other week, and I am consistently risking my life every time I choose to enter a combi, but I don't really have a choice. Aside from risking my life driving with incredibly reckless drivers, Zim's public transport system is also just so inconvenient and expensive. Like, there's one bus stop, well, it's not really even a bus stop. There's like just one area where the combis come, and it's a 20-minute walk away from my house. Then the destination is another 20-minute walk away from my school, plus the hour-long drive from where I stay and the hectic traffic every day. If I wanted to get to school by 8, I'd have to leave the house by like 5. Again, I learn in town, and it costs $1 to get from where I stay to my school and back. So that's $2 I spend every day just on transport, which comes out to around $50 a month. That's some people's entire salaries here in Zim. That, plus my brother's school fees, plus general house stuff, means my dad has a lot on his plate. And for some reason, business hasn't been all that great for him. Like, my dad lost his job and was working home for a while, but that wasn't enough, so he left to go work on his farm and hopefully make some cash out of it. I only see him like once a week now because he's constantly working there. This is where he sleeps. And when I do see him, he's always incredibly tired and grumpy, but I don't blame him, because if I was working 24/7 in the blazing heat while also having a bunch of expenses pile up, I'd be pissed too. Is this some kind of joke to you, God? Do you enjoy making me your pawn to watch me suffer? No one deserves to see their parents at their limit. And my mom's job requires like one big client every month or so, and since the beginning of the year, nothing. But we're surviving somehow. Now, as a 17-year-old, money shouldn't really be none of my concern, but I feel obligated to help lighten the load on my parents. I know I should just focus on enjoying my teenage years and focus on my education, but the only reason I'm even going to school right now is so that I can qualify to go to animation college next year, which costs $10,000 tuition, plus the cost of staying abroad because the school I want to go to is not in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe doesn't even really have any animation schools, and that's money I doubt my parents will have, but I remain hopeful. It's kinda hard to focus on my current studies if it's going to be worthless because I can't afford to go to university anyway, and how do I enjoy my teenage years when I'm broke? All my interests, art, animation, music, fashion, photography, require money at some point or the other to either get started or to improve in. Sure, I can use what I have. This video was made on a cracked version of Ibis Paint and CapCut on a 4GB RAM PC, but I'ma need a bigger laptop and better software if I'm gonna make better animations, cause mine literally dies every time I try to do something ambitious.
I hate it. I don't know why it's doing this, but okay, yeah, I'll probably continue to stream another day because CapCut is being so stupid.
Sure, I can download PDFs and watch YouTube to learn animation and get better instead of going to college, but first, those things require internet. Internet, which is crazy expensive in Zimbabwe. Y'all are lucky to even be watching this video. I probably went into generational debt to get the money to buy data to upload this. But also, I can only learn so much from YouTube. I know most people want to drop out, but I want to pursue animation as a career, and I think university is the best route for me. So yeah, poverty is screwing up my education and my progress in doing the things I love, but it also screwed up my mental health. Because I stay in Zimbabwe, I can't afford first world thoughts like depression and anxiety. Do y'all know how much a psychiatrist costs? My parents and most other, African parents would just chalk it up as a spiritual problem or some shit. I had severe depression. OGs to the channel know what I'm talking about. And my parents took me to get prayed for. Bro, But last year, I was staying with my relatives outside of Zim, and they were like, nah, this kid is fucked up, he needs help. And they took me to a doctor, and I was diagnosed with a bunch of stuff, but they gave me medication, and now I'm better. I won't say God healed my depression, the pills did, but I would say God helped me find a way there. And I consider myself very lucky, maybe even blessed, to have relatives in a better place who were able to get me the help I needed. All this to say, I think poor people are more closed-minded because they can't afford stuff, so they just make up excuses, like my parents blaming my depression on demons or whatever, instead of it being an actual medical crisis because they couldn't afford the proper help I needed. Or like when a kid wants to do something other than known high-paying jobs, like if an African kid told their parents they wanted to be a content creator or animator, my way, God bless your poor soul, their parents would probably not like that very much. They'll sleep better knowing their money is going to a guaranteed and safe money-making option like being an engineer or a doctor. They can't afford to waste money on hopes and dreams. They need a solid career. I'm just very grateful that my parents are more open-minded than most other African parents and support my dreams of animation, even if it's a very long shot. It helps that I have a channel with 9k subs to kind of prove that I got what it takes to make it an animation. Even if they're struggling to put food on the table every day, they're still doing their best to make sure I achieve my dreams, and that's something I won't ever take for granted. I hope that by this time next year, I'll be watching this video in my dream school on an iPad Pro with a 100k subscriber channel while my parents are in a gated community driving an AMG GLE 63S Coupe. I didn't make this video to farm sympathy. I'm a storytime animator, and telling stories about my life is what I do. But if you want to help support the vision, you can join my channel membership or Patreon. The benefits are listed on the page.